So I don't know if you've seen this, but there are a lot of people that are starting YouTube channels and making good money even without a large audience or a lot of subscribers. And in this video, we're going to be talking about 21 different ways to make money with YouTube. And there's probably a few of these you've never heard before, as well as some of the new updates to how to qualify for YouTube monetization, because there's a couple different levels to it. I'm also going to show you how much money I earned this year on YouTube so far from a couple different channels to give you some perspective. And this stream, or maybe you're watching this on the replay, is also going to have some Q&A. So check out Timecodes and chapters, because you could skip around to some of the questions answered later after we get through the initial training. But here's the big idea. You can make good money with a small YouTube channel. And people are doing this in all kinds of different niches. Goldman Sachs revealed that the creator economy could approach $500 billion by 2027. And it's about a $250 billion industry right now. And if that was as big as it would already be a massive opportunity. But the crazy thing is that's 100% growth expected in the industry over the next 2 years. So here at Think Media, we've been talking about how the next 2 years are really going to be the best 2 years in the creator economy. But where's all this money coming from? Well, it's a great question. And so we're going to be covering the 6 ways to make money directly on the YouTube platform, as well as 15 ways to make money with YouTube. And so here's number 1, the YouTube Partner Program. Now, a lot of people know about this. This is when you qualify for monetization. You can start earning money from your YouTube channel. And there's 2 levels to this. There's level 1, which is fan funding access. Right now, if you have 500 subscribers or more, 3 public uploads in the last 90 days, 3,000 watch time hours in the past 12 months, or 3 million shorts views in the last 90 days, you can qualify for the fan funding access level. So a lot of people think you need 1,000 subscribers to qualify to make money on YouTube. It's actually 500. But you don't get everything. What you get access to is memberships, super chats, super thanks, and limited shopping tools. But what's cool is you can start earning money directly on platform with as few as 500 subscribers if you meet the rest of the qualifications. Now, to be clear, you also need to be 18 years or older, live in an eligible country or region, have no active community guideline strikes. You have to link up a AdSense account. So you set up a separate Google AdSense account, link that up, and then you have to follow all of YouTube monetization policies. But that's pretty cool. And then the traditional level is level 2, full YouTube Partner Program access that unlocks full monetization, ads, premium revenue, full shopping tools, brand connect, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time in the past 12 months, 10 million shorts views in the past 90 days. Now, again, sometimes we look at these numbers, and that's why I stick around till the end of this training, because when we go through the 15 ways to make money with YouTube, you can start using those without being qualified for the YouTube Partner Program. You don't have to get the 1,000 subscribers yet. You don't have to reach any of those milestones. But what's cool is to have this information, right, to know what it takes over time to get there. Okay, so that is the YouTube Partner Program number 1. Now, the next is channel memberships. This is where viewers pay a monthly fee to access exclusive perks. They get things like badges and emojis. But the real big idea here for most is exclusive content, members only content. And again, you can start doing channel memberships at 500 subscribers with 3 recent uploads in the past 90 days and 3,000 hours of watch time. Now, the next is super chat and super stickers. This is where fans pay to highlight their messages or send animated stickers during live streams or premieres. Same as above in terms of qualifications. And you have to make sure that live streaming is enabled, because that happens during live streaming and premieres if you premiere any of your YouTube videos. And then remember, stick around for Q&A, or if you're watching this live, hit your questions. We'll star them. Victoria is going to be joining me in a little bit. Then also your merchandise shelf will be the next one. So you can sell official branded merchandise directly under your videos. You do need to be in the full YPP to do that. And you can work easily with approved merch partners like Spring. And there are many others though as well. You can integrate Shopify, other things that you can do when it comes to merchandise shelf. Now, the next one is YouTube shopping. And I'll actually show you how much I earned from YouTube shopping in just a few minutes. And so this allows you to tag and promote products in your videos or your YouTube shorts, and then people can buy directly off of you tagging those. You've probably noticed that social shopping is actually one of the next big waves. It's actually been a massive industry in China for quite some time, and we're still probably at the forefront of it in the US. TikTok shopping is massive. I remember I was at my friend David's house and I was like, that's a nice carpet. He goes, I got it off the TikTok shop. I'm like, what are you talking about? I personally haven't gotten anything off TikTok shop, but I know that that's a big wave for all kinds of stuff: supplements, clothes, household goods, rugs for your living room, Instagram shopping. And so YouTube shopping is this integrated shopping experience where there's clickable products that you can tag right on top of your videos. And again, I'll show you some of my revenue on that. But let me know if you ever purchased anything off any of these shopping solutions on social. And then the sixth is Brand Connect. Now, this is an invite only, invitation only to get into this one. It's YouTube's in-house platform that matches creators with brands for paid sponsorships, usually high engagement channels, US based, full YPP required. And all of these, you got to be 18 plus to get in, or, a parent or a guardian sets everything up. Now, if you wanted to see, this is Think Media, my main YouTube channel, January 1st to May 6th, 2025. I've earned $84,688 from the YouTube Partner Program. So I'm not saying these results are typical, right? And Think Media is originally started by me. I just started filming videos in my bedroom, started by myself, but has grown into a team of content creators. We publish a lot of content over there. Where you're watching this live stream is on our Think Media podcast channel. And so that's the main channel. And that speaks to the fact that over time, if you build up an influential channel, that you can make some pretty good money. And not only that, I think it also speaks to the fact that you want to be aware of your CPM and RPM potentials. And that essentially is how much YouTube pays you per 1,000 views. And depending on your niche, it can drastically influence how much money you can actually make from YouTube ads, depending on your channel topic. So Think Media is kind of a mid to high earning ad revenue channel because we're a serious channel for people that want to learn, get educated, as well as invest in tech, cameras, lenses. And so the big way to think about how much earning potential your channel has is what advertisers would want to advertise on your channel. And so our RPM over there a lot of times is closer to $10, and RPM is basically how much money you keep, and CPM is how much money your channel makes, but then YouTube takes their cut, and it's basically split between YouTube and you. And bottom line is, if you want to make bigger money with a smaller channel, you want to pick a channel topic that has higher earning potential, assuming that YouTube ads is your target. And as we talk about all the time here at our channel, it's a lot smarter to do the 15 ways we're about to talk about in a second. But that's just an example of Think Media so far in 2025. Now, on this channel, the Think Media podcast channel, in 2025, I've earned $22,274.88 so far. That's off of 3.2 million views. And the views could be somewhat tricky because shorts could really mix with it, and shorts don't pay well. I think actually probably one of the reasons why I am down 37% views right now in terms of the snapshot of 2025 is because last year we had a 20 million viewed YouTube short, which is cool, kind of, but also can somewhat be a distraction, doesn't earn a ton of money. And if it goes that viral, it's really not reaching your target audience anymore. It's just reaching people complaining in the chat and stuff and whatnot. And generally, I'll take it, but I'd be much more interested. Essentially, we came back to a baseline of long form views, which pay the best. And so anyways, $22,274. Now, this is an interesting screenshot of YouTube shopping in 2025. So we know how we just talked about YouTube shopping. This is basically the affiliate program integrated into YouTube itself. The key number here is Think Media has generated nearly $100,000 in sales of products. This shows that actually we're walking away with about 2% of that, and 770 orders, 26,000 product clicks. The actual earning was almost $2,000 just from YouTube shopping. So again, depending on your niche, depending on what your YouTube channel strategy is, at Think Media, we call it a money plan. What's your money plan for your YouTube channel? What's your money plan? If you're just starting, what's the best way to make money for your niche? And these 15 ways we're about to cover is really where I think the big opportunity is as we deliver on the promise in the title of this video of 21 total ways to earn money on YouTube. So here's the ways to make money with YouTube. Previously, we said on YouTube, right? It's YouTube itself paying you. YouTube is kind of the middle man in a way. Like it's coming through the YouTube partner program. This is just the fact that you're using YouTube essentially as a marketing engine or an audience building tool. And you can point people anywhere you want, right? Awareness to anything. So number one, affiliate marketing. This is so you can earn commissions by promoting other people's products using tracked referral links. Brand sponsorships, get paid by companies to feature or endorse their products in your content. Online courses, sell structured educational content that teaches a specific skill or transformation. Paid memberships, offer exclusive content or community access through platforms like Patreon or your own site. Crowdfunding or fan funding. So raise funds from your audience for creative projects. Really the difference here is crowdfunding is a project-based or goal-driven campaign that you would, again, maybe give awareness to the audience you've built, whereas fan funding is ongoing. So it's tied to appreciation, reoccurring support, getting tips. So super thanks or super chats are kind of like people tipping you. Fans are funding you through your YouTube channel. Buy Me a Coffee is a website you could write down or look up. And fan funding also a lot of times looks like Patreon. And then memberships is typically more educational content, where it's a membership to lose weight or a membership to learn a particular skill, like marketing or business, or a membership usually more like kind of professional minded or learn something, as opposed to if you have an entertainment channel and you're a comedian or building a fan base, fan funding is usually more relevant. Number 6 is coaching, and you could do one-on-one or group coaching. And perhaps through a YouTube video, you say, hey, if you want to do coaching with me, there's a link in the description, or go to the Calendly. I believe you can actually integrate getting paid. I think my therapist, this is how I could do that. I can go schedule his Calendly, and then I agree to pay the money, or I pay the money in order to schedule the Calendly. So you can set it up pretty simple with software tools. If people could book 30 minutes with you or an hour with you, and that could be one-on-one, or it could be in a group environment. Then number 7 would be books. And you could write one book, but technically it's multiple income streams. In fact, practically, it's actually a lot of different income streams. Here's what I mean. One of the biggest reasons I think it's smart to think about eventually writing your own book, YouTube Secrets. I wrote this with my friend Benji. The 2nd edition is out now. And we updated it. We deleted some chapters. We added like 90 new pages. But there's the physical book, and this is a self-published book. This book came out on Amazon through CreateSpace, where anybody can publish a book, right? And so print on demand, essentially. And so you don't have to have a warehouse of books. The physical book is one income stream. The ebook through Kindle is another income stream. Then we recorded an audiobook. And there's many ways you could do that, but we did it in a professional way. So it's high quality. That's on Audible. So that's 3 different income streams. But what's crazy about digital is if you put it out on Kindle, you get international reach almost to the entire world. So as far as income streams go, there's like over 100. And, a small trickle if somebody in like Lithuania is purchasing YouTube Secrets. But they're all handled by the back end of Amazon. And so I think actually books are kind of underrated in the creator economy because, and this might be an interesting quote to consider, I think everybody should write a book so they can create an audiobook, because people love podcasts so much right now. And podcasts are cool, but you're just kind of rambling. They're maybe well structured, but they're not super, you're interviewing somebody and it's a good conversation, but it's like on all over the place. A crafted, well-written book is like 4 hours of gold. And it's a format that people already love and use. And you can start doing things where like books could be distributed on Spotify and be included in like, you can go on Spotify if you have a membership and there's like a bunch of audiobooks included. Well, you get like small royalties basically for that. Same thing on like certain levels of Audible. You don't actually have to buy the book. It's included in like the media that is included there. So you just start thinking about taking like one asset like a book and putting it a lot of different places. But the punchline is we're talking about 15 ways to make money with YouTube, because the question of for all the above is, well, how do people get to know you? I heard one person say, people got to know you before they can flow you. Kind of cheesy, but maybe we freestyle later. It's like, if I need to know you even exist and then understand about what your product service offers are, and then have a relationship built via content and then learn about these things exist. You know what I mean? So even at a very small level, and to put it another way is like, if you got to a place where you were selling, let's just say like a book a day, and your book is, $15. Now, I want to say the takeaway of that, there's a hard cost to it. It's actually probably better to do an ebook, just be easier math. If your ebook was $10, Kindle, Amazon takes 30%, you get 7%. So if you sold a book a day, one ebook a day on Kindle at $10, then it'd be 7 times 31 would be $217. And then, multiply that by 12, and there's a $2,604 side hustle in your first year, let's say, of not even being qualified for the YouTube partner program. So I understand like kind of maybe easier said than done, but just to point, like while people are out here trying to make $3 on the YouTube partner program, if you just had like one $10 thing. In fact, in just a second, we're going to look at some creator economy math as well before we get to the Q&A portion, to look at, with these 21 different ways of making money, how do we practically turn this into a real part-time or full-time business? And if you're enjoying this training, can you hit the like button? And if you're watching the replay, drop me a comment. Which of these do you like best? Which one do you think fits for your channel best? We got more to go through. Let's hit number 8. Number 8 is digital products. So digital products is you could sell downloadable assets like templates, presets, guides, printables directly to your audience. Events, paid, in-person or virtual. So you could host a local event if you're building local awareness, or a virtual online event. You could charge any amount you want, but let's say it was $20 to go to an online workshop or something like that. And so you host live experiences, virtual or physical. Your audience pays to attend for the value, the connection, the learning. Merchandise, offer physical branded items like shirts, mugs, or accessories to your fans so they can buy and support your brand. Now, I know this overlaps with the fact that YouTube has a merch shelf, and that's integrated into YouTube. But the point here is, even if you didn't qualify for that, that you could set up a merch store on many different websites from day one. You don't have to qualify for anything. And again, if you're attracting the right audience and getting people interested in your movement, your message, the thing you're promoting at the very early stages, you sell a few of those things a month, like extra flow, and you could just monetize so much more quickly. I understand there's a system to it. There's really a template to it, the level of depth and connection. I think that's kind of what it is too. Like, I think what we're trying to do a lot of times is go viral on YouTube. And like, I just need so much growth. I need to grow my audience so big. I think in 2025 and beyond, it's actually less about going wide and it's more about going deep. And one of my friends, Shalene, actually talked about, she's like, we're always focused on like getting new followers. What if you actually reach the followers you already had? Now, mind you, you're like, I'm at 0, Sean. I actually do need some new followers. But I think for some of us, it's like, how deep have we really gone with the people that are already in our community, right? How deep? Or Seth Godin put it this way: what's your minimum viable audience? What's the smallest audience you could build to go full time? It's a good question, because what everyone's asking is like, how do I build the biggest audience possible? And in a 2025 world, there's insane amounts of money coming into the creator economy. There's insane amounts of opportunity, but there also is higher competition than ever before. And there's a lot of noise, and you have a lot of competitors. So that's how people are carving at the edge. They're thinking about, okay, how do I niche down? How do I find my pocket? How do I have a smart money plan? And how do I make my smallest viable audience so I'm just not so stressed, like if the algorithm isn't giving me millions of views, that I'm still fine because I've made a smart money plan by thinking through this at a very strategic level. You have your own freelance services, get hired and provide skills like editing, design, writing to clients on a project or hourly basis. And we'd be talking about using your YouTube channel to promote your freelance services. And I think what I hope you're seeing here too is this is not a checklist of that you need to do tomorrow. You're like, do I have to do 21 things? This is a menu where you place your order for the menu items that best fit your dietary restrictions. For this, I don't know, that wasn't a very good analogy, kind of though. It's like, so what's your diet? What fits best with you? So you're like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of freelance services. What also I'm gonna sell some digital products. Somebody else entirely might be doing a little bit of coaching and they do events. Somebody else, writing is the thing. I'm really gonna go into writing. So books is gonna be. I think it's about picking off of these 21 things, the few menu items that fit you best. 12, speaking engagements. Get paid to speak on your expertise at conferences, on podcasts, on virtual events. Number 13, e-commerce, your own product line. This is different than merchandise because it's the higher level. Merch, a lot of times, is like slap your logo on a t-shirt from a simple website. And e-commerce could be your own skincare line, your own supplements, your own gear. And a lot of times it's white label. And what white label means is you get like you actually don't necessarily go and formulate your own skincare line, but you do go find something that is you would believe in, you try and you like it, and then you put your brand on it. That's, again, like if we were gonna white label coffee with Cannell, I wouldn't strike. That's one of our shows here on Think Media podcast channel. Like, there's all these coffee brands I love. I'd look much more to just get beans that I already love from Mothership Coffee in Vegas or Vesta or somebody like Say Coffee in New York. And I would be just trying to so I'd know the coffee is good, but I would slap, that's probably not a very good name, but Think Coffee or something, whatever. And but it would be a higher level brand and more intensive, like than just putting your logo on a shirt. You're really building your own brand at that point. Okay, so then number 14 would be leads for your business. This could be like a year-long workshop we could do on that. I mean, that goes so deep in what the opportunities are, but essentially, said simply, you're just attracting and converting viewers into leads for your service-based or product-based business. That could be anything from real estate, you're a service provider, you're a course creator, you are marketing your freelance services, or you've designed any kind of product and it's sold online, but your purpose of being on YouTube is to attract leads. And 15 is licensing your content. You can earn money by letting others use your videos, footage, or intellectual property for a fee or for royalty. And some of these are more advanced and more complex, but I've been in the creator economy for so long. I've talked to a lot of creators who have licensed their content, family vloggers who have used their content, travel vloggers who you're already out traveling. You get good at filming drone footage, action camera footage, 360 footage. You're using it in your own stuff, but you realize you could license that footage. You're doing the work anyways. So this is a real thing. There's many different ways you could do that as well. Now, before we get into how the math works to take this all deeper, I do want to go a little bit deeper on defining terms, because digital products some people wonder, like, what's the difference between that and like creating an online course? So digital products are intangible assets, digital, that people download or access virtually. So there's no shipping needed. And what I love about them is they're so low overhead. It makes sense because you're not printing a shirt and like, whoops, we ruined that batch. So that has like a hard cost to it, or shipping and returns. And like trending digital products could include Canva templates and Notion templates, printables, budgeting sheets, homeschooling materials, journals. I was talking to Brian on the Think Media team, and he sent me this devotional that he is doing using AI for his kids. So he's creating like a Bible devotional for him and his wife, Jenna, for his kids, because it's their own passion, it's their own creativity. And there were some images in it and some prompts and some questions. And he put it all in Notion. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then I was like, that's a digital product. And his wife, Jenna, is on pause now because she's about to have a baby, but she's going to be relaunching her podcast. And so if they're doing a family podcast, parenting podcast, then having an offer that is something like a digital product, not an online course, but a series of devotionals for couples or whatnot, and then realizing it could be put into Notion or put into these different places. So digital planners that go into iPad or GoodNotes, very popular in the productivity niches. Lightroom presets for photography and video, course slide decks, fonts, 3D printing files, sound packs, and overlays. So then some of the platforms you could put those on are Etsy, Gumroad, Payhip, Ko-Fi, Creative Market, Thrivecart, Kajabi. And then you could think about e-commerce, and going a little bit deeper on what's the difference. There's merchandise that's like creator merch, fans wear your brand. And then there's also e-commerce things like actually solving a problem, though, lifestyle enhancement. So supplements, physical books, tech gear, planners, makeup, fitness gear. And you could fulfill that through FBA, fulfilled by Amazon FBA, drop shipping, a lot of different ways you could do that. And then as far as popular products in general, to stimulate maybe some ideas for you, give you some thoughts, mini digital courses or master classes. In fact, by the way, we have a limited time special going on our YouTube course. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. But at vrapodcast.com, you probably know that that's one of the things we've created, and we've invest our time and energy here at Think Media is creating the best YouTube education course on the market. Of course, in our opinion, but I think that data and user transformation backs that up as well. And so mini digital courses, workbooks and PDFs, web-based tools or calculators. AI is interesting, like helping build simple SaaS solutions. Like, not that this is super simple, but programming is getting easier. If you go to thumbnailtest.com, it's a pretty simple. Well, I'm not a programmer, so I'm like it wasn't simple. Like you could ask the creator, but like thumbnailtest.com, I think is about $16 a month. It's a very specialized tool. And if you created some kind of a web-based software solution for a very specific pain point, $16 a month, if you grew it to 1,000 users, would be $16 times 1,000 users paying you monthly times 12 months. And that's $192,000 a year business. And so it could be something like that. Wall art, home decor, Society 6, is that what the website's called? Or Etsy, places you could sell your art and put it on all kinds of different pillows and things like that. Kids activity packs, homeschool kits, niche specific resources, tattoo stencils, sheet music, real estate guides. So there's a lot of different stuff. And the myth is you need, 1 million subscribers to make real money on YouTube. And the answer is you just don't. We've been talking about the 21 different ways to make money on YouTube in 2025, some of the new qualifications, some of the nuances and the opportunities there. But let's land the plane before we get to Q&A talking about, well, how does the math work out? And that brings us to the 1,000 True Fans blueprint. Because the truth is, you only need 1,000 true fans. And my friend Shalene Johnson said actually earlier, she thinks it's 500. What's my smallest viable audience? Like, what mission, message, movement could you create through your YouTube channel, community that has 1,500 dedicated people? And here's how the math breaks down. 1,000 true fans, $100 each, that's a $100,000 a year income. And let's be clear now, this does not mean 1,000 YouTube subscribers, because YouTube subscribers can often be pretty casual. YouTube subscribers, I mean, you're probably like me. You might click subscribe because you kind of want to be reminded sometimes when that person posts. But if that person, I'm in the Seattle region right now, if that person came to Seattle to do an event or something, I don't know if I'm going to drive down and fight traffic to go to that. I'm not a true fan if I'm not good. But if I'm like, what? They're in Seattle right now. I'm more rural. I'm about an hour north. So it's like, oh shoot, like if John Crist, the comedian, I'd say I'm probably a true fan. JP Sears went to Everett, Washington, so I made the 20-minute drive to hang with the homie. And so in a way, it's like thinking about like that. Like, who would you go through traffic for? Not that you even have to leave the house, but at a YouTube subscriber level, it doesn't actually mean you're a true fan. So a true fan is somebody who basically watches every video you make, buys your products or courses, uses your affiliate links, joins your membership programs, attends your events, advocates for your brand. So a lot of times you'll grow a YouTube channel to a few thousand subscribers, and that's what it'll take to get to your 500 to 1,000 true fans. And it depends, again, on how deep and strategic you're being, how intentional you're being. One of the harmful mistakes that people make is they have too much random content, or their content's too broad. I mean, I haven't mentioned it earlier. I got 20 million views on a short last year, and I got a lot of subscribers. I'd maybe say 0 became true fans. I don't really know, because it's hard to quantify where people came from. But I got thousands of subscribers. One, most of the time, if someone clicks subscribe because they're watching shorts, they're only going to watch more shorts. Typically, that's the case. So they're definitely, in fact, I can look in my stats. The people who watch shorts and a live stream like this, it's like less than 1%. It's like 1% will watch a live stream on Think Media Podcast and will also watch the shorts. So that's a good illustration of what does it take to get a true fan? Because if we're chasing views, are we making an actual connection with people? And I would much rather have 100 true fans than 2 million views on a short, actually, because it's more common than ever before for people to get million views on a piece of vertical content. It's actually just very common, and people see it and it's forgotten about. And talking about platforms just not like YouTube, you're probably DMing reels to your friends. Oh, this one's so funny. You're like, it's like reels culture. You're not following that creator. You don't know who the creator is. You just think the reel is funny. Now, a portion might go look at that person. And so usually for more neutral, generic content, you need insanely big numbers. So yeah, on my 20 million viewed short, legit, I probably did get 20 true fans, which is insane, because to get that's pretty sick. But if you do a deeper dive type of content, you don't need 20 million views. Just maybe get a few hundred, a few thousand views to start tapping into this math. But let's take it deeper, because it's not like you go from day one starting a YouTube channel to 1,000 true fans. Let's say in your first year, let's say in your first 2 years, you grow to 600 true fans. And let's say based on the 21 income streams we just talked about, you don't even get to $100 each on average over 12 months. You get to $55 each. That is a $33,000 a year income. So this is kind of how the creator economy math works, where Goldman Sachs is saying that the creator economy is going to double in the next couple of years. People are building fan bases, communities, 600 true fans, $55 earned each, $33,000 a year. And this might be the stepping stone where you're like, well, I'm not going to quit my job for that. But people are doing this on the side. And this might be your first 12 months, your second 12 months. And then by year 3, you go, well, I'm at 33,000. Now, how do I scale that up? Now let's look at it a different way. Imagine you only had 10 true fans. Seems like a small number, but imagine that you earn $10,000 each. That's a 6-figure a year income. And before you go, what the heck kind of a scam is that? Well, it's not a scam. There are plenty of scammers out there, but that was my story. Like, as a freelance YouTube strategist and videographer, I had clients paying me monthly. That's only about $800 a month. As a freelancer, that adds up to about $10,000 a year. Forgive me if my math's like math is not my main skill. But and you only have 10 clients. Like, that's a full plate. But if you as an individual, and I think a cool mindset, I learned this from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, reading that book. An interesting mindset is, Robert Kiyosaki would talk about how his poor dad would always say, hey, we can't afford that. And I don't know what situation you grew up in and what if money was taboo to talk about for your family, or if, your parents didn't really talk about money or how to make money, if they weren't really entrepreneurial. Maybe you always were kind of in lack. There's just a lot of different things that we can experience as we're growing up. I remember before my mom met my stepdad, she divorced my dad because it was a very unsafe situation. And we lived in a basement apartment for a few years. She was working overtime just to try to support her and I. We didn't even have a car for a while. She would strap me in the back little seat of her pedal street bike, and put a little helmet on me. And I was in a little plastic seat. And that's how we got around in Seattle in the winter. And I remember there's certain things you remember as a kid, when we actually slid out one time and boom, we hit the deck. She got injured. I feel so bad, Mom. Mother's Day is coming up at the time of recording this. And she was so worried about me, but I was okay. She's like, you didn't even cry. You were just sick. I was in my little plastic seat. I had a helmet on. And so we definitely know what it's like to struggle financially. But when I think about this idea of 2 different mindsets you can have, the rich dad, poor dad, the poor dad was like, we can't afford that. And so sometimes you just have such a limiting belief, we just can't afford that. I can't afford that. Whereas his rich dad would always ask this question. Just changing the question can change your life. How can we afford that? How can I afford that? So when you think about, just as a thought exercise, I couldn't charge $10,000. Why couldn't you? The better question would be, how could I charge $10,000? What would I do in my niche if I only could have 10 true fans and I needed to charge $10,000? That doesn't mean that'll be your path, but that's a really good way to change your thinking, because it helps you see a little bit different and get out of the limitations and the boxes a lot of times that we place on ourselves. And so you could go the 10 true fans method. And this reminds me, one of our Video Ranking Academy students, Jen DeVore Richter, when she only had 546 subscribers, because the YouTube myth is you need 1 million subscribers. So she's not monetized. She does not have 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time at this moment. And she sent us an email and she said, I had an $11,000 week thanks to Video Ranking Academy. And she said, my clients are reoccurring, so this is just the beginning. An $11,000 week, not month, right? So do that 4 weeks in a row, that's $44,000. Now, again, sometimes in the creator economy, we just want this weird laptop lifestyle. I'm just trying to work 4 hours a week, Tim Ferriss, okay, cool. But most people in the creator economy, you're working still. Okay, let's put that out there. Work's a blessing too, by the way. In the book of Genesis, there was work before things went south. Work's a blessing if you get to do I think that's the opportunity, is that you do something you love. You get to maybe work from home, so you can be with your family. You get out of the grind. You get out of traffic. You work maybe on your own schedule, but you're still working. And so she, to be clear, was offering services. So you just might ask yourself, what services could I offer? How could I maybe freelance for a season if I'm looking to have more freedom? How could I use my YouTube channel? What could I offer? as opposed to, oh, that doesn't fit with my channel. There's no way I could do that, right? It's just different ways of thinking. And then as the numbers grow bigger, though, let's say you got to 10,000 true fans. Well, this is why people have the concept of a YouTube millionaire, because it's a very real thing. If you have 10,000 true fans, $100 earned each in 12 months, that's $1 million. And even that number might practically be like, that's actually not that crazy when I really look at it. I'm not overly hyping it. Like it's going to take effort and branding and work and skill building and strategy and patience and time and a little bit of luck and a little bit of the right niche and all the above. But you're like, actually, like, dang, when I look at it, like making $1 million in 10 years seems crazy. Like a year? Yeah. It's actually not that crazy. Like 1,000 true fans, $100 each. Let's ask the question together. How could I grow into those numbers? And the reason we started with $55 and 600 true fans and $33,000 in a year is because I think those are the building blocks of most creator careers or entrepreneurs that start adding on kind of the media company aspect to their business, is having realistic expectations of what does the first 6 months look like? What does the next 6 months look like? And then where could I be in the next 3 years or 5 years, especially as I ride this wave of the creator economy is going to double in the next 2 years. So the next 24 months is a massive time. If you find this content interesting, you're thinking about this, like now it's time to lock in and get serious about these 21 ways of making money, about this 1,000 true fans blueprint. And so the big idea today is I can make good money even with a small channel. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is with ranked videos. Now, we don't have time to go into that, but if you have a question, drop a question down below. And I mentioned today's training is brought to you by vrapodcast.com. We just did a week-long challenge. It's over now. And we just did a deep dive masterclass, because our favorite thing to do here at Think Media is rank videos, is to create videos today that keep getting views for weeks, months, and years to come, that are connected to the 21 different income streams we just talked about. So if you actually want, there's a limited time to still get into, we have a few bonuses right now, not just our main course, Video Ranking Academy, which is our main YouTube course, but we also are including our Video Creation Made Simple workshop, our YouTube Niche Finder course, our Camera Confidence course, the workbook, Video Editing Basics course, and we're doing a 3-week coaching and accountability cohort that starts next week. So if any of that, if you've already heard about this, and maybe you weren't sure if you want to join, let me just remind you that there's only a few hours left at the time of going live to get all of these bonuses and the special pricing. So we'll post a link to this special offer in the chat if you're there. And then I'll also make sure we have it in the description of this video, or just go to vrapodcast.com. Now, if you go to this, if you're watching this video later, there's still probably a great offer there. But to be clear, on May 7th at this exact moment, there's some special things we're doing. This is the program that has helped our students generate over 25.6 billion views. And we meticulously track our student success on a monday.com board, which is a piece of software. And our goal is basically, this program is a step-by-step system to build a YouTube channel you're proud of that generates money and impacts people and changes lives. So whether you want to pivot your career, quit your job, generate extra income on the side, or create more safety in retirement, if you want to build your personal brand so you can attract more business than you can even handle, get leads, this program will help you do it. And this is one of the cool things that we just added, is right now included in this offer for no extra charge. We sell this separately, but it's included in this special offer for a limited time, is the brand new program I recorded called YouTube Money Secrets. And this is all about mastering affiliate marketing. It's a 5-video series. It covers 65 ways to make money with a small channel. A lot of people don't know about this. And actually, let me show you inside, because not only is the 5 videos, but it also includes the pre-release edition of my newest book called YouTube Money Secrets, the complete guide for monetizing your channel from day one. And this is a digital download that you're going to get access to. But what's really cool is I wrote down a bunch of checklists, process maps, my favorite affiliate programs, all the newest ones that can work for different channels, This really in a response to so many questions that we get about affiliate marketing and how to master it. And I did have AI verify this. So you've got part one, ways to make money on YouTube, affiliate marketing strategies. You've got how to 25x your income. So all kinds of affiliate marketing stuff. Part two, the secrets of the highest earning channels. So this is a 55-page, 47-page to be exact, pre-release edition of my newest book, YouTube Money Secrets. And actually, arguably the better edition, because if you ever read a book, you know, books are, you fluff them up, not in a bad way, but with the stories and with kind of the narrative and the illustrations. Right now, it's just in tactical mode, where there's never been a resource this exhaustive that I've seen for how to master affiliate marketing in YouTube and all of that other stuff. So AI was who confirmed that there's at least 65 plus different ways to make money. And that means variations of affiliate marketing, by the way, because the core ones we talked about in this video are like the 21 main ways, but you can like splinter that down. It's kind of like when you do like write a book is one way, but you could do royalties and licensing and audiobooks and digital books, and you could sell your digital book in multiple places, and physical books, and you could bulk order, like you could splinter off. It gets very tactical. So it's if you're interested in any of this stuff, then this is all included in this special offer right now for one great price. And we have a payment plan, or you can pay in full. And then, by the way, this is all ending in a few hours, depending on when you're watching this. There's a countdown clock on the website. But this includes lifetime access, and we have a 30-day money-back policy. So if you have any questions, Victoria and I will answer those as we do the rest of this stream. And you can check out Timecodes and chapters if you want to skip around on those in the replay. But to be clear, you get lifetime access, including updates to our main YouTube course, as well as the updates that we do. And we have a full 30-day, 100% satisfaction, risk-free guarantee. So whether you join today, 29 minutes from now, or 29 days from now, if for any reason you're not happy, just email us and say, I'm not happy, and we'll refund your money. So, you know, I understand that in, if you will, the online course industry or whatnot, there's a lot of legitimate skepticism out there because, you know, is it going to be worth the money? Is it going to be as valuable? Well, test drive it, because the only reason you can make a guarantee like the one I've just made is if you know that what you have is the real deal. And I think one of the biggest edges of our community is the community itself. You get access to our private circle group. Think Media is 25 employees, add contractors, there's like 10 more people. We have a real faculty, real YouTube coaches. We really support our community. It's the most engaged community. So I understand that information is more common than ever before, but what you're learning is a proprietary process and a system, but you're also getting that community support, that accountability support, especially with the cohort that we're including, which is a free 3-week jumpstart for all of this. So vrapodcast.com is where the details to that. There's a link in the description. We'll post that in the chat as well to check all that out. And then I know we have a few starred questions, but welcome to a live stream on the Think Media podcast channel. It's been a minute since we've been over here, and you could shout me out where you're watching from, what you're drinking. I'm sipping on some black coffee, 3rd cup for the day. And 1 cup probably equals more than one. I mean, like 3rd cup, it's like, I mean, maybe you can't tell because of proportions on this particular scene, but this is probably 2 8-ounce cups or the 20-ounce mug. So it might be a little bit bigger. And I'm fired up to answer your questions about YouTube, about monetization, about this training. And I'm going to be bringing up Victoria from the Think Media team. Victoria, how's it go? What are you sipping on? And what's our first question?
I have lemon water that I've almost gone through, whole quart. But yes.
Sounds healthier. You're alkaline. Is it alkaline you? Is that what lemon water does, like in a healthy way?
I would imagine it can, but technically I would think that lemon juice is very acidic too. So it's like, it depends on also the water that you're drinking from. If it's been,
I'm asking ChatGPT. There's something, hydration, vitamin C, digestive aid, kidney stone prevention, skin health,
it helps
alkalizing
detox.
effect. Oh, theoretical. Though
Do you-
lemons are acidic, some claim they have an
yeah.
alkalizing effect in the body after metabolism, potentially reducing inflammation. But this is debated and not backed by science.
Yeah, I was say I think it's pretty acidic, but I mean, plants in general tend to be more alkalined, than like other things. So yeah.
Cold brew, delicious. Viet coffee. Does that mean Vietnamese coffee with the kind of like sweet sugar with cream? Oh, it's good coffee. Third cup of coffee, Zach, my man. Good to see you here. Cheers. Okay, what's our first question, Victoria?
Yes. All right. Um, let's see. When do we set up the AdSense account? This was really early on in your training, and
Mhm.
you're going through all of the different options they had through that.
So first, I mean, you don't really need it until you are accepted to the YouTube Partner Program. So you want to get your 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time. And you won't be able to get paid for views yet, but you can get into the YPP for fan funding features. And then at that time, you're going to set up your AdSense account because that's how you're going to get payments. And so during your YPP application process, YouTube will prompt you to either link an existing AdSense account or create a new one. And that's it. Back to you, Victoria.
Okay. We have also a similar related question. Should you have a separate business account set up for any of these programs and they were talking about with the AdSense and affiliates and all of that?
Yeah, Sally, this is a great question. I'm not ultimately a full on, I'm not a CPA or an accountant, but I can share a lot of lessons I've learned. One interesting challenge that I've learned is that a lot of what I started as an independent influencer. And so it was connected to my social security number, which is fine. Now, my understanding, and this is not financial advice, I'm based in the US, but even if you eventually move into a more business mode, and I would say if you once you start taking YouTube seriously, you should start an LLC at least, and perhaps an S corp. And you want to be professional, be organized. And the nice thing about an LLC is it's exactly what is in the name. It's a limited liability company. So there's some protection to protect business assets from your personal assets. My understanding is that in some cases, like when you sign up to receive payments from an affiliate program, like all you can give them is like a PayPal address. And that PayPal address might be, if you will, like a personal address. The simple way to answer your question is you should separate everything. It's called do not pierce the corporate veil. But what a lot of times the IRS, based on my understanding, wants is they want just organization and distinction. So I do not take like my Amazon affiliate income. I don't track it as personal. It all runs through the business. And perhaps there's somebody watching this on the replay or something that could give me a recap in the comments, or maybe you're here. But a big key to that is also what bank accounts do you set up? So I would definitely set up a business bank account, have that money flow into the business bank account. And that's sort of the paper trail. And then what you do is you have the money flow into the business and then eventually flow to you personally. And you take a draw or a salary or income from the business. The other cool thing about this is this also helps with taxes. There are so many tax benefits for a content creator. But step number one from all of the CPAs that we've had on the Think Media podcast and whatnot is to get organized. That's kind of the big idea, is like get organized so that your YouTube ad revenue and maybe the direct deposit money coming out of YPP, that goes into your business bank account. Your affiliate income from wherever goes in your business bank account. The way you might sign up with it could be your home address and like your email, some of those things. But at the end of the day, where's the money flowing? And if the IRS then looks at it, they say, oh, okay, you're doing YouTube professionally. And everybody watching this, or if you're watching on the replay, you can make a decision to do YouTube professionally from day one. I think you should. It's kind of like Jay-Z said. He said, I'm not a businessman. I am a business man. It's like from day one, be like, no, I'm a business. Like, even if it's just a hobby YouTube channel, I'm going to treat this like a business. So what would a professional do? Well, they would have a business account. They would eventually set up an entity, right? As simple as an LLC, which you could file for yourself, or, in most places it might be a few $100s or less. And I understand this stuff's stressful. You're like, I don't really want to do that, but you're turning pro. You're setting it all up professionally. So that would be a lot of it would be organization. You could think about how you do that. And then in summary of it all, it gets a little bit murky in the sense of like, and my team would tell you this as well, this whole thing has expanded out personally around emails that I started, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, personal accounts that I started, you know what I mean? And now poor Drea, who like runs our affiliates, and Mark, we're part of over 100 affiliate programs, and it's like hard to keep up with. And it's like, where did that one email go and whatnot? So as much as possible, a tip is like, stay organized, track things well, and look at the flow. Like, just consider having, however you sign up for things, consider having the money go to your business bank account, because then essentially you're just going to pull all the money considered business income, which is the way you'd want to do it for taxes. You're like, no, I did not take this as personal income yet. Like, it's all going to my business bank account. And then out of that business bank account or whatever, I bought my camera, because such things, at least I could speak to here in the US, and you need to look up, the most recent tax terms. It could be an easy ChatGPT search, but in fact, let me actually check this. I'm going to do a little ChatGPT prompt here. Hey, if I'm starting a YouTube channel, can I write off my camera, an educational course that I buy, my home, like a sit-stand desk in my office, plane tickets to go film with a friend of mine that also has a podcast, the hotel, 50% of the food on that trip? Even if I'm just starting and I haven't really made money yet, but I'm just curious about the tax advantages. My intent and my mindset is to treat my YouTube channel like a business, not just like a personal project. All right, here we go. So we're looking at the tax opportunities and tax advantages of starting basically an online business, right? An at-home business, even if you're a W-2. So yes, you could potentially deduct these. Camera and equipment, educational courses that enhance your skills can be deductible. However, if the educational qualifies for a new trade business, it may not be deductible. However, if the education qualifies you for a new trade or business, okay. Home office furniture, if you have a dedicated space, travel expenses incurred to film with a collaborator, such as plane tickets, hotel stays, and transportations, are generally deductible if the primary purpose is business related. Meals for business travel are typically 50% deductible. Profit motive versus hobby. The IRS distinguishes between a business and a hobby based on profit motive. And every CPA I've talked to, and all of this is for entertainment, by the way, I am not a CPA, but the word intent is what matters. Another word is motive. So based on motive, like, hey, why are you starting the channel? Oh, I'm not like, oh yeah, I was doing YouTube and I thought about how I could like pay the IRS last. I'm just trying to like game the system. Just flip the motive. It's like, oh, no. Yeah, I actually decided it's actually not a hobby. I decided that I'm going to turn pro and treat this like a business. That's my motive for doing it. So even if you're not profitable, demonstrating a genuine intent to make profit through actions like creating a business plan, maintaining separate business finances, and consistent content creation supports your position as a business. So if you start a channel and post videos, consistent content creation, you get organized. You just organize out separate business finances. And sometimes you think, well, there's barely any money coming in. Like my first ever affiliate payment was $2.12. Let me encourage you to think big in small places. Don't let your small YouTube channel make you small-minded. Don't let your small town make you small-minded. And I don't say that super cavalier way. It actually is, it's very true. You know about the fish in a fishbowl, the size of the fishbowl caps the growth of the fish. They put them in a bigger environment, they start to expand and they start to get bigger. So some of this conversation is even just shifting our mindset okay, I'm thinking different. I'm thinking bigger. Startup costs. Expenses incurred before your business becomes operational are considered startup costs. Up to $5,000 of these costs in the first year, and then the remaining are amortized over 15 years. Interesting. So if you were to spend $5,000 on your YouTube channel this year, you could deduct up to $5,000, camera, lighting, education, whatever. Maintain thorough records through expenses, including receipts, invoices, and a log of business activities. And that's crucial if you're going to get audited by the IRS. I hope that sometimes this doesn't trigger fear. Like, oh, what if I get audited? I've never been audited. Probably will get this year because I just said that. But, also actually, though, I think because we're so organized. And if an audit was to come, it'd be like, all right, call Matt. And then they just talk to Matt. So you set up something. So consult a tax professional, keep detailed records. So again, if you're just starting, what would be the beginner tips on this? The beginner tips are think different and get organized at the beginning. And if you just keep a simple log, start a business bank account, but really look into the fact that there could be a lot of write-offs and benefits for your YouTube channel that could come in. All right, Victoria, next question.
Okay. Here we have, I got millions of views on shorts and then now I barely get any. Is there a glitch or am I shadow banned?
All right. So, I would argue it's neither. I don't think it's a glitch or a shadow ban. I think it's very common to understand a couple different things. There's seasons on social media and there's seasons on YouTube. There's windows of opportunity, and there's times when those windows of opportunity close. And what you want to know is that there's always new windows of opportunity that open, but you have to pivot and adapt. Yesterday's home runs will not win tomorrow's games. So, and then I think number 3 is kind of ties into number 2 would be adapting, reinventing yourself and asking yourself, what's working now? What do I need to change? What do I need to pivot? Because number 1, seasons. Go back to seasons. When shorts just started, it was wild, man. You want to jump on new features when they're new? There's certain moments where it's crazy. You're getting disproportionate growth. YouTube's promoting something new. Not a lot of people have started it yet. So the mistake people make is they're like, man, I was getting millions of views and now I'm not. Am I shadow banned? It's like, no, that was 2 years ago. And I don't know how long ago it was, but seasons change. I then think number 2 is to think about, okay, what used to be novel eventually becomes common. There's other competitors, or there's just more volume in general. There's more people doing it. The algorithms changed. Have you changed and adapted your content? Or are you doing the same thing you used to do, expecting it to give you the results that it used to give you? That's why, for example, not just do we update our program, but we have an ongoing community, because YouTube is always updating and changing. And I don't even just mean the algorithm. Whereas in my recent conversation with Renee Ritchie, he mentioned some new changes in regards to AI learning and all these different things happen to the algorithm, but it's also just human behavior. Sometimes people get used to a certain format of content. They get used to, think about the video podcast industry and think about famous people. It's at one point it was maybe crazy that Elon Musk went on Lex Friedman podcast. And then, or Mark Zuckerberg went on Theo Vaughn's podcast. I know that happened recently. But then eventually it's now Mark Zuckerberg's been on 30 podcasts. Truth is, I know I'm talking at a celebrity level or celebrity business owner, but it's podcast 30 of Mark Zuckerberg isn't as novel as podcast 1. So in terms of getting millions of views in a certain format, I think one of the tactical tips is when you find something that's working, work it and go deep on it. But when things shift, if you're barely getting any views, there's your invitation to change, pivot, and reinvent. And so that would be thought number 3. And that's why, again, we don't just update our stuff, but we also have a community, because it's we need each other. We need an outside perspective. We need, this is kind of like an elite level. We're adding a new feature to our community, and was just planning this out. this is a little bit different than number one, disclaimer. What I'm about to show you is not what you need to do as a new creator. Number two, this will show you the level of the game we're playing right now. And the feature that we're going to add to VRA is behind the scenes of our title crew and planning process that we do for some of our Think Media videos. All right, this software is called Milanote. Here's the war zone of what went into our recent episode with Dave Ramsey. Title crew. How many titles did we write and plan? 18. And so this was all, is this the end for small creators? Most creators won't survive 2025. Is YouTube too crowded? Are you serious about YouTube? Those are titles. Here's the original hook. Totally changed it. The audio, my original notes, thumbnail captions, the words on the thumbnail versus the titles, brainstormed. Some thumbnail inspiration from other channels about where might the thumbnails go or from old previous videos. Different titles that we brainstormed. Then the 3 different YouTube, the ability to split test 3 different titles over here. A/B testing on titles and whatnot. And if you're watching this live, drop a explode or fire emoji or mind blown emoji if you're like, my gosh, you just stressed me out with that. But let me tell you this, or ask you a question. Do you think you could invest a little bit more into what we call the perfect video recipe? Your ideas, your titles, your captions, your titles, your thumbnails, your opening of your hook of your video? Yeah. Like, what if you just invested 10% time or more, 20% more time? The thing is, solo creators that are going to win going forward in the future are going to be thinking this way. You don't have to have a team. Like, it just is what it is. Like, be clear. I have grown from a solo creator into a team. They're scaling up the game. You can start with your phone. You can start with what you have. You can start basic, but I don't want to like overhype this thing. You got to have more rigor, be more serious, invest in your skills more, be more strategic. This is the level. And so let's make this practical for like a new creator. If you're brainstorming only one title, start brainstorming 5 to 10 at least. If you're just like lobbing out one basic thumbnail and not really thinking about it, spend 20% more time, however much time you take now, to think about the thumbnail, do some research, look at competitors, get AI involved to give it a better shot. If you're relatively competent at making thumbnails by yourself, throw out 3 variations and use YouTube's thumbnail split testing tool because it's there for you. Again, if you take, we have a guide we gave out during our challenge, and it's included in our program called the 5-hour YouTube work week. So if you only have 5 hours a week to work on your YouTube channel, you can grow a great channel, you know? You could crush. Everybody starts somewhere. But I might say, okay, what's more rigor look like in 2025? If right now you're investing about 5 hours a week in your YouTube channel, I'm figuring out how to get to 7. And I know some of you are like, I'm spending more time. My point is like, it's just more. And this is not what this used to look like. Okay. You know? And we just took it to another level where I was like, we have to have before, because also there's a whole process of like, if the video's not edited, like if we have not edited the video's not done, but we need to know what the content is. And I forgot what the content was, interviewing somebody in the video podcast. And so what do? We extract the script. And then what do? Just throw the script in AI and say, okay, hey, what are some of the highlight moments? What are some of the themes? What could some of the title ideas be? And so we're living in an era. Here's the good news. You're like, man, it just feels like the challenge is higher. The mountain is steeper. How could you possibly win? Here's how you win. You just got to be in the top 10% of creators. And that's actually easier than most people think, because competition is highest for low effort content on YouTube. Competition is highest for people who are not watching a training like this, not investing in their learning, not taking it to the just next level of just detail and rigor, not spending the extra 30 minutes or an hour crafting the title and crafting the thumbnail and thinking about the video packaging, not reordering their steps to actually think about some of these things ahead of time before you even film. And so you don't have to be in the top 1%. That's a tough spot to be, right? This Mr. Beast level on YouTube. To get into that like 9th or 10th percentile, having good content, research content, organized content, smart money plan, that's the long tail of people making content creation their full-time job. And I hope at Think Media, like a lot of people here is saying, we're not out here being like, everyone's going to be a YouTube millionaire. Like our message is like, a lot of people are going to be earning $33,000 a year, $57,000 a year, $88,000 a year. A lot of people are going to build multiple 6-figure businesses. And a lot of people are going to build 7-figure. I mean, Lauren Bateman was on the podcast yesterday. She has a multi-million-dollar business, one of our Video Ranking Academy students. I know we get categorized sometimes maybe as, just hyping up the creator economy. I hope like our stuff's like tangible and like practical, that it's like there is $1 million opportunities in the creator economy. But what's a lot more practical is just the fact that people are going to earn tens of thousands of dollars a year because they just get that much more strategic in their video planning, in their strategy, in their skill building. Okay, next question, Victoria. My camera's like glitching out. You seen those little glitches?
I have been letting you know on the back end. I don't know if you've been like, it's green. It's blue.
I have no idea I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I could switch to my Link 2C mid-stream because why not, There we go. All right, next question.
Okay. I just wanted to shout out, we got this super chat and just wanted to say thank you for sharing like me. We did just finish up our YouTube 1K challenge. If anyone missed that earlier, Sean mentioned it, and that is at this point replays are down, so make sure you jump in, catch us on the next challenge that we have. But at this point, our VRA offer is still available from the challenge, and so I'll drop that link in the chat in just a second.
Oh yeah, by the way, and thanks so much for the super chat. If you see on here, it's a little tiny, this little green arrow, download arrow. The challenge replays are down, but you can get lifetime access to the challenge replays from last week in addition to everything else at vrapodcast.com. And at the time, I'm going to go there right now, vrapodcast.com. 19 hours is what it reads for me left. So at the time of watching this video, you're here live, you caught the replay. To get and you can just click the link in the chat or the description to go see what's over there. But there is 19 hours left at the time of going live. All right, what's the next question?
Yes, and I know we will be wrapping up just maybe 1 or 2 more questions at this point. But here's a question I saw. Is it better to start a YouTube channel on an older account that's over 10 years old or just starting a new account?
Great question. Hey, Melanie, good to see you watching over on Facebook. And shout out to LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, X. Can we show some love? If you're wherever you're watching in the world, if you've been getting value today, you like trainings like this, whether that's the like button, hit that share button on Facebook, let LinkedIn know, tag some people in the comments, some other professionals that want to get serious about YouTube. Appreciate y'all. And thanks for the love, Melanie. Always good to see you. It was great hanging out in San Diego at Social Media Marketing World a few weeks back. This is clearly not as good of a camera, but old Glitchy is gone. And this is like a $150 webcam. It's called the Link 2C. It's pretty cool what's out there. So is it better to start a YouTube channel on an older account over 10 years old or starting a new account? I don't think it's really better or worse. It's a disadvantage if the channel grew and has subscribers and you're going to make radically different content. Here's the quote. One YouTube channel for one target audience. So if your target audience is people that want to learn how to start and create incredible DIY gardens in their backyard and at home, and you grew that channel to 100 to 1,000, I think actually the numbers would be to 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers. If you grew it to like 55 subscribers, well, you could probably pivot and do anything you want. But if you grew the channel to 7,000 subscribers, what was the target audience? What was the promise of the channel? Gardening tips. I want to start and grow a garden. So then it's 10 years old and you're like, well, should I start a new account? Well, if you just get back to it and you're like, now, I'm getting back to it. The target audience is people who want to start and grow a healthy garden. Well, then I would keep it on the same channel. And if it's a personal brand thing, all that said, starting a new channel is not a big deal either. So you might as well. And it may just be a net neutral type of a thing. I'll then kind of maybe just say, what would I do? And this is an interesting point. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something someday. But I have a channel called Cannell. And it's pretty big. It's 112,000 subscribers. And I've uploaded some weird stuff on here, like this most recent AI video on King Solomon's wealth secrets, let alone 10 cool home office ideas, let alone why are we too busy to enjoy life, down to Mother's Day gift ideas. Side note, get your mom a gift. Mother's Day is this Sunday. Get your wife, if she's birthed your children, a gift. Mother's Day is this Sunday. So let me put it this way. This channel has done a lot of cool things. I've also been able to rank a lot of videos, create a lot of income streams, and do some cool stuff. It's all legit. But it is an interesting question when you say, would I start a new channel or not? So I've played with other ideas. Nothing I'm doing soon, but I've played with ideas of, am I going to, there's like stuff I want to talk about in regards, especially like faith in business. Someday I might start a podcast of some sort around faith, business, leadership, that kind of a tie-in of those things. And I've asked myself the question, would it go on this channel? The team even sometimes will be like, hey, when are you going to start uploading on Cannell? There's also been thoughts where I've thought where I might unlist almost every video and rebrand the channel. And in saying all of the above, I would say this. I would just be accepting the fact that I would have a battle to fight to recondition the algorithm. So if you say one channel, one target audience, you'd say like, what was your target? I mean, if anything, I guess it was like, why'd you subscribe? For a personal brand channel, you subscribed for Cannell. What does that mean? I don't know. It means interview with a 1-year-old, and it means Beyblade battle, and it means gift ideas for him. So what does that mean? I don't really know. But does that make sense? So it's kind of like 3 levels for you to consider. If you've got a channel and there's no big issues, keep the channel you have, start building. Number 2, don't hesitate from starting a new channel. Nothing wrong with it, especially if you have a new clear audience. You want to start a fresh channel, fresh clarity. And number 3, if you do have an existing channel with maybe some existing subscribers, but you want to keep it, and you know that you may need to pivot audiences and recondition the algorithm, just accept that fact and then hit it hard. And so the conclusion is, the day I do that, I will absolutely do something here. And I will build something here. How I do it, I'm not sure. And no matter what it's going to be, it'll be confusing to what the algorithm was, because there is barbecue corn husk videos. There's a lot, and it'll just be what it is. And I will accept that fact, figure out the new brand, hit it as hard as I can, and accept that it might take some time to get the new flywheel going, because I want to keep that channel going. So I hope that works. All right. I think probably one more question, Victoria, 1 or 2.
Yes, we can do that. Okay, let's do this one. GLC wants to know, how would you use YouTube as a new creator / channel to promote your freelancing service and generating business leads, especially living outside of a qualifying partner program country?
Well, the cool news is you don't have to qualify the partner program to promote your freelance services. 2 totally different things. So what I would do is, first of all, just to figure out, how are people going to exchange money with you? How do people give you money? Are you going to sign up on onlinejobs.ph? You're going to sign up on Upwork? Are you going to collect money some other way through PayPal? But what I would be very thoughtful about how easy that sales process is to do business with you. This is an honored step for a lot of creators, meaning they do want to do coaching or freelancing or something. And so all I do is essentially funnel hack them, right? I'll go to your description and I'll be like, there's not even a link to your stuff. Thing one. Thing two, there is a link, but the link is dead. Okay. Thing three, there is a link. The link works, but it gets to a website and I can't even see, like, it's not very clear. And there's a lot of, it's not an organized website. All right. Well, eventually I scroll down. Then I get to the fact where it's like, hire me for freelance services. This is so common. I say this all the time. And like that link is dead. I literally can't give the person money. So that link's dead. And it says like PayPal, but it's just a picture of the button, but it doesn't actually work. Okay, maybe that eventually works. And then I get over to the PayPal account. This camera like motion tracking me. Like, what are we? Okay, wow. So anyways, I would set up in design, in programming, this is called UI and UX, user experience. And the other one, user interface and user experience. So it's like thinking about how does that work? And a good website like Upwork has thought about all of that. They want people to convert. They like actually transact, convert, because they make money when you make money. So I would get all of that set up well. And that's a whole conversation about personal branding, articulating your message, articulating your positioning, articulating your value, getting all that stuff populated. And this is really what starting with the end in mind looks like, because your clarity of how that whole process works and exactly the pain point you solve and how you're going to articulate your value. Imagine if you don't have any of that clear, then don't be surprised if you're not getting sales from your YouTube videos. But if you do have that clear, now it's informed the video you're making, because now it's like, and so, hey, that's how you do this and this and this. And I hope you got value out of this video. And by the way, if you actually want help, here's exactly how I can help you. And this is the exact pain point I can help for you. And if you want more help, click the link right now in the YouTube description. It'll take you over to a page and you can hire me part-time or full-time. And I look forward to working with you if that's interesting. All right, I'll see you in the next video. So you've made the process clear. You've articulated it. It's tied into the people the YouTube video is attracting. And then life gets exciting, because then it's just a matter about improving all of those steps. Then when you start making better videos that get more views, more people discover your services. And then when you get better at your services and your fulfillment and even converting. And so this is a framework we call VLS, views, leads, sales. And those 3 steps, we're always working on improving all of those. How can we get better at getting views? How can we get better at getting the right views? How can we get better at attracting leads, getting the right leads? And then how can we get better at the sales process? How effective are we at the sales process, optimizing it? And for any serious business owner, you don't arrive at any of those steps. That's lifelong. You just never stop. Like you always reach more people and get better at thinking about how you could go deeper into conversation and get better at the sales process, and then get better at the fulfillment process that comes after sales. So that's how I would do it. And that's some of the things that I would focus on. So with that, Victoria, I'll do a final close in a second, but any announcements, any deadlines we need to know?
Yeah, we can definitely just address one more time the offer that's going to be closing out. Here is the link, if anyone who needs it, at the bottom. It's vrapodcast.com. And that whole bundle, everything on that page, comes down tomorrow morning from when we're live streaming at 9 a.m. PT. So that is Thursday, May 8th, 9 a.m. PT. And so this is just a really great whole like package, like Sean was saying, where it's just going to help you get in the right place for all the things that are to come through the creator industry, the creator economy, the things that are about to just keep growing and exploding. So this is the place that we would definitely recommend you go and give it just at least check out the page. Keep an eye on that countdown. That's the best place to know if you're in a different time zone, how much time is left. But that is where you're going to be able to see all the details of everything that goes in the whole program and what we are including, or the bonuses too. So that's where I would definitely make sure you check out within, less than 24 hours at this point. So Sean, at this point, do you want to do one more question, or are you ready to just close?
I'm ready to close, because I do know that Melissa especially gave me a hard stop for a meeting. But thank you so much, Victoria. And thank you for checking out this video. I will say a couple of things. One, if you did get value today, hit the like button. I would appreciate that. And it really does mean the world. Hope that if you happen to be just jumping on, by the way, during the first 30 minutes of the training, we in detail answered 21 distinct ways to make money on YouTube, some of the qualifications, a lot of ideas. So you can just scroll back to that. You can watch the replay, catch all of that. And I would love to know in the comments, you could say hashtag replay fam, or you made it this far, because if you're at the end of the video like this, you're a legend. So really grateful for you. Means the world for all the love and support. And then, yeah, if you do want to join us inside of this, just a heads up, there's like less than 24 hours at this exact moment to get into this particular offer. That includes YouTube Money Secrets, the new 5-video program I just created like 60 days ago, and the pre-release edition of my newest book, YouTube Money Secrets, the complete guide to monetizing your channel from day one. Really cool stuff. So you can click the link in the description or check that out. You can see the ticker on screen if you just go to vrapodcast.com. And then subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are really uploading episodes on this channel every Tuesday and Thursday on a mission to help 1 million purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love while making a difference in the world with YouTube. My name is Sean Cannell, your guide to building a profitable YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. Peace.